there, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. I'm so excited that you're here with me because we're going to dive into something super important for anyone learning English. Are you ready to level up your English skills? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about how to speak English confidently and fluently. And I'm sure this is something you've been wanting to know. Sir English, whether you're learning English for work, travel, or just for fun, this episode will give you the tools you need to start speaking better today. Before we dive in, I want you to take a moment and think about why you want to improve your English. What's your reason? Do you want to travel the world and speak with people from different countries? Or maybe you want to get that dream job where you can use English. Or perhaps you just love languages and want to be able to chat with people in English. Whatever it is, that personal reason will drive your journey, and it will make the learning process so much more exciting. But here's the truth. Speaking English is not about being perfect. Forget about stressing over perfect grammar or trying to use huge words. The goal is simple. You want to communicate. You want the person you're talking to understand you. And trust me, they will, even if you make a mistake here and there. In fact, making mistakes is part of the journey and it's totally okay. Now, let's talk about how you can actually practice and improve your speaking skills. The best way to get better is by practicing as much as possible. But here's the catch. You need to have clear goals. Ask yourself, what exactly do I want to be able to do in English? Do you want to have basic conversations? Or maybe you dream of giving a speech or presenting in English one day. The clearer your goal, the easier it will be to break it down and start practicing the right things. For example, you could say, I want to speak for 10 minutes in English every day. Or I want to confidently introduce myself in English by the end of this month. These are super clear goals and they're easy to measure. The key here is to start small and be consistent. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is fluency. Think about learning to speak English like learning to ride a bike. At first, you're not going to ride around for hours. You start by learning how to balance. Then you practice pedaling. It's the same with speaking. Start with small, simple sentences. Maybe start by saying, "Hi, my name is what is." It might seem simple, but trust me, these little steps are crucial. The more comfortable you get, the more you can start speaking in longer sentences and eventually tackle more complex conversations. And remember, don't set goals that are too big. It's like trying to ride your bike for an hour on day one. It's just not going to happen. Start with 10 or 15 minutes of speaking practice, and as you get better, you can increase the time. Let's break things down a bit more. For example, if your big goal is to speak English fluently, don't expect to get there overnight. Here's how you can break it into smaller steps. Step 1. Start with simple greetings and small talk. Practice these every day. Step 2. Learn vocabulary related to your hobbies or interests. For example, if you love cooking, learn the words for ingredients and recipes. Step 3, practice forming complete sentences. Focus on clarity, not complexity. Step 4, engage in conversations with friends or language partners. Step 5, listen to native speakers to improve your pronunciation and rhythm. By breaking things down like this, you're not trying to take on the world all at once, but instead, focusing on manageable steps that will help you make steady progress. Now, here's something important: staying motivated. I get it. Learning a language can be tough, and sometimes it feels like you're not improving fast enough. Don't worry, that's normal. Here's how you can stay motivated. Track your progress. Celebrate every little improvement. Did you learn 5 new words today? Celebrate. Reward yourself. When you hit a small goal, treat yourself. Maybe watch a movie in English or enjoy a nice meal. Stay positive. Language learning is a journey. Stay focused, keep believing in yourself, and you'll get there. Finally, remember this: the more you speak, the better you'll get. Even if you're not 100% confident, just keep speaking. Every conversation, every word brings you one step closer to fluency. So don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone does it. So that's all for today's episode. We've talked about setting clear goals, breaking them down into smaller steps, and staying motivated. You can do it. Whether it's about speaking fluently, confidently, or just having fun with English, setting small and realistic goals will get you there. In the next episode, we'll dive into the common challenges English learners face and how to overcome them. Stay tuned. Welcome back to part 2 of our podcast on how to improve your English. I'm so happy you're still with me because now we're going to talk about something super important, the challenges you'll face when learning English and how to overcome them. Trust me, everyone experiences challenges. So if you're feeling stuck at times, you're definitely not alone. Let's break it down and I'll share some tips to help you move past those roadblocks. First off, let's talk about the fear of making mistakes. If you've ever felt nervous or embarrassed to speak English because you're scared of making mistakes, I totally understand. But here's something you need to remember. Making mistakes is actually part of the learning process. Every time you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. No one speaks perfectly right away, not even native speakers. So stop being afraid to make errors. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become with the language, and over time, those mistakes will happen less often. Another challenge many learners face is vocabulary. You might find that you're stuck using the same words over and over again, and you feel like your vocabulary is limited. The key here is to practice with purpose. Don't just memorize random words. Instead, focus on learning words and phrases that are relevant to your life. For example, if you love cooking, learn vocabulary related to food and recipes. If you work in an office, learn business terms. This way, you'll be able to use the language in real-life situations and your vocabulary will grow naturally. Now let's talk about listening skills. One of the biggest challenges English learners face is understanding native speakers. They speak fast, use slang, and often have different accents. It can be frustrating, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to understand everything. Start by listening to podcasts, watching movies, or even TV shows with English subtitles. Listen for key words and the general meaning of what's being said. Don't get discouraged if you miss some details. Over time, your listening comprehension will improve, and you'll get better at understanding faster speech. One challenge that really trips up many learners is confidence. When you're just starting out, you may feel unsure about your ability to speak fluently. It's normal to feel nervous when talking to someone in English, but you've got to push through that fear. Start by speaking with people who are patient and understanding, like a language partner or a friend who's also learning. The more you practice speaking in a safe environment, the more confident you'll become. Also, try recording yourself speaking. It might feel a little weird at first, but it helps you become more aware of your pronunciation and gives you a chance to hear how you sound. And now I want to address grammar. Yes, it can be tricky. But here's the secret. Don't get stuck on grammar rules. Of course, grammar is important, but in the early stages, don't stress about being perfect. Focus more on getting your message across. As you continue practicing and listening to native speakers, you'll naturally start picking up the correct grammar and sentence structures. So don't worry if you make a mistake with grammar, just keep speaking and you'll improve over time. So what can you do to overcome these challenges? Here are some tips that have worked for many learners. Set realistic expectations. Learning English is a journey, not a race. Celebrate the small victories like having a 5-minute conversation or understanding a song in English. Keep practicing every day. Even if you're only speaking for 10 minutes a day, consistency is key. Practice makes progress, so make it a habit. Find a community. Join a language exchange group, whether in person or online. Having people to speak with regularly will give you the opportunity to practice in a fun and relaxed environment. Use language learning apps. There are so many apps that can help you practice speaking and listening. Some even have speech recognition to help you with pronunciation. Before we wrap up part 2, let me give you a quick challenge to boost your motivation. I want you to think of one thing you've always wanted to talk about in English. It could be your favorite hobby, a recent movie you saw, or even a story from your life. Now, for the next week, try to talk about that topic in English for at least 5 minutes every day. Whether you're speaking to yourself, recording yourself, or talking to a friend, just do it. Trust me, this will really help you gain confidence and start thinking in English more naturally. And that's a wrap for part 2. We've covered some of the common challenges English learners face and how to overcome them. I know learning English can sometimes feel overwhelming, but remember, you're doing great. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. In the next part of the podcast, we'll talk about some fun ways to practice your English every day, so stay tuned. Welcome back to part 3 of our podcast on improving your English. By now, you should have a solid understanding of why speaking English is important, how to set realistic goals, and how to overcome the common challenges that come with learning the language. But you might be wondering, how can I make practicing English fun and something I look forward to every day? Well, I'm here to help you with that. In this part of the podcast, we're going to talk about some fun and practical ways to practice your English every day. So let's dive right in. First things first, surround yourself with English. This might sound simple, but it works. Try to make English a part of your daily life as much as possible. You can start by switching the language settings on your phone, apps, or social media accounts to English. This way you'll see English every time you check your phone, and it'll help reinforce the language in a natural way. Another great tip is to listen to English podcasts, audiobooks, or music. Find topics that you enjoy, whether it's a podcast about your favorite hobby, an audiobook, or music from an English-speaking artist. While listening, focus on understanding the main ideas, the vocabulary, and how the speaker or singer uses different expressions. If you're into music, try to sing along. It's a fun way to practice pronunciation and rhythm. Next up, watching TV shows and movies in English is another awesome way to practice. But here's a twist. Try watching without subtitles first. I know, it can be a bit challenging, but trust me, it's a great way to train your ear to understand spoken English. If you find it too hard, feel free to turn on English subtitles, but try to watch the video first without them. This will help you focus on the actual sounds and rhythms of the language. Also, pick shows or movies that are relevant to your interests. If you like action movies, go for them. If you love comedy, there are tons of funny English TV shows that will make the learning process enjoyable. And remember, don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Just focus on the bigger picture and the overall meaning. Another fun way to practice is by playing language learning games or apps. There are so many apps that make learning fun. For example, you can use apps like Duolingo, Memorize, or Babbel to practice your vocabulary and grammar while having fun. Some apps even use games and challenges to keep you engaged so you can learn without feeling like you're studying. And if you enjoy competition, many of these apps let you compete against other learners, so you'll have extra motivation to keep practicing every day. Try setting a goal to complete one challenge each day, or aim for a streak to keep the momentum going. Let's not forget about language exchange. Finding a language partner is one of the best ways to practice speaking, whether it's in person or through an online platform like HelloTalk or Tandem. Having regular conversations with a native speaker will improve your fluency and help you feel more comfortable speaking. The great thing about language exchange is that it's a two-way street. While you help them learn your native language, they help you with English. If you're nervous about speaking with a native speaker at first, don't worry. Start by texting or chatting online. Once you feel comfortable, you can set up voice or video calls to really practice your speaking skills. The more you talk, the better you'll get. Here's another fun suggestion. Keep a journal in English. Writing in English every day is a fantastic way to practice and improve your language skills. You don't have to write long paragraphs. Just start by writing about your day or what you're thinking. You can write a couple of sentences or even just a few words. It'll help you practice sentence structure and vocabulary while also giving you a chance to reflect on your progress. If you're unsure about what to write, you could start by answering questions like, what did I learn today in English? Or what new words did I use? Over time, you'll see improvement in your writing and feel more confident using the language. Now, here's a really fun one. Join an English-speaking club or community. Whether online or in person, finding a community of English learners or speakers can provide you with great practice opportunities. These clubs usually have events, conversations, or even challenges where you can practice speaking and learn from others. Plus, being part of a group helps you stay motivated and gives you a sense of belonging. If you prefer a more relaxed setting, try speaking English with friends. You don't always have to be talking to strangers or language partners. Practice with your friends or family members who also speak English. You could set a rule to only speak English for a certain time each day. It'll be fun and you'll practice without even realizing it. One more tip before we wrap up this part, don't be afraid to make it social. Share your learning journey on social media. Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube, posting videos or stories in English is a great way to keep yourself motivated. Not only will you be practicing your speaking skills, but you'll also connect with others who are on the same learning journey. And who knows, you might even get feedback from native speakers, which will help you improve. So to wrap up part 3, here's your challenge for today. I want you to pick one of these fun ways to practice English and commit to doing it every day for the next week. Whether it's listening to an English podcast, speaking with a language partner, or watching an English movie, just pick one and make it a daily habit. Let's see how much your English improves in a week. That's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling excited and ready to have fun while practicing your English. Remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get. In the next episode, we'll dive into some advanced tips for taking your English to the next level. So stay tuned and keep learning. Welcome to the final part of our podcast on how to improve your English. You've made it this far, and I'm so proud of you for staying committed to your English learning journey. By now, you've learned about the importance of setting goals, overcoming challenges, and finding fun ways to practice. But now let's take it a step further. In this part, we're going to talk about how to take your English to the next level and continue improving even when you feel like you've hit a plateau. Let's get started. So, you've been practicing English every day. You're feeling more confident, you're making fewer mistakes, and you're understanding more of what you hear. But what happens when you reach a point where you feel like you've learned as much as you can? This is a common feeling, and don't worry, it's totally normal. At this point, it's important to challenge yourself and push your limits. To do this, start immersing yourself in more complex content. Try watching movies or reading books that are a little above your current level. For example, if you're used to watching cartoons or simple shows, try watching dramas or news channels in English. They'll introduce you to more advanced vocabulary and real-life conversations, which will push you to learn faster. Another great way to level up is by focusing on specialized vocabulary. If you're someone who uses English for a specific purpose, like work, travel, or a hobby, now is the time to dive deeper into the vocabulary related to that area. For example, if you're learning English for business, start learning business terminology. If you're passionate about cooking, learn more complex cooking vocabulary. This will not only help you sound more fluent, but will also boost your confidence in conversations related to your interests. Let's talk about advanced listening and speaking skills. To become more fluent, it's important to practice with content that challenges your listening skills. Try listening to podcasts or watching interviews with native speakers who speak quickly, use idioms, or even slang. These types of resources will help you understand different accents, colloquial expressions, and how native speakers naturally use the language in day-to-day situations. To improve your speaking, try shadowing. This is a technique where you listen to a speaker and repeat exactly what they say, trying to match their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. This helps improve your fluency, pronunciation, and intonation. You can practice shadowing with YouTube videos, TED Talks, or even podcasts you like. The more you mimic natural speech, the more natural your own speaking will sound. Next up, let's talk about writing. If you've been keeping a journal or writing simple sentences, now's the time to push yourself to write longer pieces. Start writing short essays, opinion pieces, or even short stories in English. You can also participate in online forums or social media groups where people write in English. This will not only help you practice writing, but also give you feedback from others, which is a great way to improve. One way to keep improving your writing is by reviewing your work. After you write something, go back and check for grammar mistakes, sentence structure issues, or awkward phrasing. This process will help you see where you can improve and how you can sound more natural in your writing. Another advanced speaking technique is debating. If you enjoy a good challenge, join an English debate club or group. Debating helps you practice speaking quickly and thinking on your feet, while also improving your ability to form complex arguments and use advanced vocabulary. If you're not into formal debates, you can practice informal debates with a friend or language partner on any topic you're passionate about. The key is to practice speaking at length and in a structured way. And finally, let's talk about feedback and self-correction. At this point in your journey, it's essential to seek feedback. Whether you're speaking with a language partner, tutor, or teacher, ask for constructive feedback on your speaking, pronunciation, and grammar. This will help you understand where you still need to improve and what you're doing well. Be open to correction. It's all part of the learning process. Remember, the key to taking your English to the next level is to stay consistent and continue challenging yourself. Learning English isn't a one-time effort, it's a lifelong process. Even after reaching a high level, there will always be new words, phrases, and cultural nuances to learn. But that's what makes it fun. The more you immerse yourself in English, the more natural and effortless it will feel. Now, before we wrap up this podcast, I want to leave you with one final tip. Never stop learning. You've come so far in your journey to improve your English, and I know you can go even further. Keep setting new goals, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Learning a language is an exciting adventure, and the more you dive into it, the more rewarding it becomes. And that's it for today's episode. We've talked about how to take your English to the next level by challenging yourself, learning specialized vocabulary, improving your listening and speaking, and getting feedback. I hope you feel ready to continue your journey and keep pushing your English skills forward. Thank you so much for listening, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode where we'll dive into even more tips and tricks for mastering English. Keep practicing, and remember, your progress is always worth celebrating.